Part 11. The Fijar Wars and Hilf al-Fudul. When the Prophet was around 15 years old, a series of small battles broke out between two large tribes. A tribe member from the branch of Kinanahi, to whom the Quraysh belonged, killed a man from the branch of Hawazin. The killer escaped and fled into the precinct of the Haram, because no one can be harmed in the sacred grounds. Hawazin, in their rage, entered the Haram and attacked the man. The Quraysh were so incensed that the sanctity of the Haram was violated that they declared all-out war. The Prophet recalled these events at a later date and said, "I remember participating in the Fijar Wars. I would collect and return arrows for my uncles. I do not regret participating in that war." They were termed Fijar Wars because Fijar means evil, and both sides had committed evil acts. Moreover, it pertained to the violation of the Haram, which was considered a major evil. A few years later, when the Prophet was 20 years old, another incident occurred. A Yemeni man came to Mecca to perform Hajj. To fund his travels, he sold a few items to Alas ibn al-Wa'il, a chieftain and influential politician. Alas evaded payment and continued to stall. The man sought assistance from different tribe leaders of the Quraysh, but was met with a variety of excuses, as no one wanted to create tensions with a powerful diplomat on behalf of a lone traveler. As a last resort, the man took to a public platform. The closest equivalent to 21st century contemporary media platforms at the time was public speeches through the medium of poetry. The man headed to the Kaaba, which was a popular gathering place, and began to recite,
"O Fijar's folk, attend to me, a man aggrieved and robbed of wares, in Mecca's valley by a chief, whose clan attends to pilgrims' care. In pilgrim's robes I come to you, a man alone and far from home, and hearth and tribe, and ask my due, as guest between the Hijar and stone. The true Haram's for noble ones, not those who cheat its sanctity, and on its guests they set upon, while wearing thobes but being thieves."
Fihr ibn Malik, who is said to be the progenitor of all the clans of the Quraysh. The pilgrim's robes are the ihram. One performs Hajj or Umrah in a state of ihram, sanctity. It is forbidden to perfume oneself, comb one's hair, cut one's nails, or wear any threaded clothes until the Hajj or Umrah is complete. The Maqam station of Ibrahim, denoting where Ibrahim and Ismail built the Kaaba. Al-Hajar al-Aswad, the black stone, a sacred stone attached to the Kaaba. A thobe is an ankle-length dress commonly worn in the Arabian Peninsula. The poem proliferated rapidly until the likes of al-Zubair ibn Abd al-Muttalib, the Prophet's uncle, heard about it. He convened a meeting between the senior tribesmen of the Quraysh in the house of Abdullah ibn Judan, a widely respected and revered chieftain who passed away before the prophethood of Muhammad, peace be upon him. A pact was made, and a treaty was formed whereby the Quraysh vowed to support the oppressed over the oppressor, regardless of the tribal standing of either party. They gathered in front of the Kaaba and made a collective vow, signing a treaty by dipping their hands in perfume and imprinting it onto the document. It was thus called Hilf al-Mutayyibin, Treaty of the Perfumed, or Hilf al-Fudul, because Alas ibn al-Wa'il bemoaned the pact, claiming the matter was feudally, that is, none of their business. The pact was made to proclaim that matters of oppression are a societal concern and therefore everyone's business. The pact was unprecedented, remembered as a momentous event in the face of injustice. The Prophet stated, "I witnessed in the house of Abdullah ibn Judan a treaty that were I asked to uphold it even in Islam, I would do so, and I would not give up my place even if offered a large amount of money." These two events are noteworthy because they occurred before prophethood, but the Prophet approved and affirmed them after prophethood. He did not regret participating in the Fijar Wars. Rather, he was proud. This shows us that it is permissible to fight for causes that do not necessarily pertain to religion, but are for a good cause. There is a scholarly debate as to the extent to which we may participate in such disputes and battles, but there is precedent to involve oneself in such disputes. Similarly, the Prophet's comments on Hilf al-Fudul demonstrate how he was involved in his society, even though it was a non-Muslim society. He was involved in the betterment of his society and stood up against injustices of any kind. Oftentimes, the best dawah, calling to Islam, is through calling to neutral matters of goodness, truth, and justice. Being a spokesperson against racism, or calling on others to give blood, for example, is extremely effective in enhancing the image of Islam, simply due to the fact that it is a visibly Muslim person fighting for these causes. Moreover, when somebody is known to care for their community, they are valued and respected. When the time comes for more direct proselytizing, they will be listened to and taken more seriously, and Islam is then depicted as a sincere faith. This is the prophetic method,